So, Ma, I'm gonna make this video for you. I just left the house, so I'm staying at down the street. And as soon as I come down the road, you see this truck right here? This truck right here, 83035. I swear that's the same truck that I had when I worked for this company, Schneider National. Now that's the company, Schneider National truck. Okay? I was working for Schneider National in 2012 when I came to see you for Labor Day. Okay? When I came back down, I said to the dispatcher, Brad, I said, hey, Brad, it's going to be Labor Day. You think I can go see my family in New York? He said, sure, no problem, no problem. Now watch this though, right? They told me I could see my family. Now driving trucks is a big perk because you're on land, you're not a pilot. So you don't have to fly in the air and then come down and then fly in the air and then come down. But when you're a pilot, you don't do what you want to do. You got to stay on particular air routes, which is basically over the major highways. And because you go on a further distance, you can't choose where you want to go. You must go to an airport. When you drive trucks, you can go wherever you want. If I got a family member in Minnesota, I can go book a load to Minnesota. If my mom lives in Florida, from Minnesota, I could book a load to Florida. If my sister lives in Kentucky, from Florida, I could book a load to Kentucky. I go wherever the fuck I want in that business. And that's the beauty of trucking. And when I tried to utilize the benefit of the business, this is what these fucking white people at this company did to me. I said, Brad, can I go to New York for Labor Day? He said, yeah. I said, okay. Remember, I called you, went up there. I got a rental car. I forgot what I did with the rental car. I think I had some paperwork to do with something in Jersey. And then I came back. Then we had Labor Day. I went to the block party, hang out with my friends. I don't smoke. I was just drinking, chilling. Came back to the house. I asked you, I was like, yo, Ma, you think you can help me out to get to Jersey? He was like, yeah. You had a friend or something. And your friend picked us up and then dropped us off in New Jersey right outside of Piscataway where the truck was. And I was getting in the truck and he's like, Brandon, you driving this big thing? I was like, yeah, 'cause I know you don't like lorries, right? I said, yeah, Ma, that's what I'm driving. I mean, it's the only work I got. So I was on my way back down to Atlanta, right? And I called Sherelle. I said to Sherelle, I got a whole bunch of shit that I want to take out the truck, but I don't know where I'm going to get a park. If I pull up inside of the terminal and I get a park all the way at the end of the terminal, I'm going to have to go back and forth. And the walk is honestly about a quarter mile to a half a mile if you're in the back of the terminal by the mechanic shop. And I would have to go through there, walk, go through the building, and then go outside through the office, then go through the office, then go outside, give Sherelle the stuff, come back. Or she would have to come through the gate and get authorization, which she doesn't have, to go inside the gate and then park like in the employee parking area, but I'd still have to go back and forth. So I said to Sherelle, I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I know these people don't like me because I'm from New York. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave. And when I leave, I'm going to ask you to pull up in front of the office, right in front of the office. And I'll just give you the shit right there. That way I'm in front of the office and they can see me give you the stuff. So it's no problem. So I did that. I pulled up at the office, stopped the truck right there. She pulled up. I gave her like a bag of clothes and 2 bags of clothes and something else. And then I took the truck, went inside of the terminal, parked the truck. So they start treating me like shit. Next day I go to work, they want to give me urinalysis. So they've already been planning to set me up and target me. This is the first ever I drove trucks. That was the first company I went with. And as soon as I go to New York and come back, they hit me with urinalysis. But aside from that, They had lied to me and told me that they wanted me to go into the apprenticeship program. It's like a 1 year program. We drive around, and then the incentive to do that would be that they would give me what they would call BAH, which is some military program apprenticeship, and then I would get money from the apprenticeship. Now, the money would be the cost of living that you would pay, that you would be paid to get assist you with rent. So I said, shit, if it's gonna assist me with rent in Atlanta, I mean that's about $800 to $900 a month. So I could take that plus still get my pay. Now when I was working for them, I was getting like, I started off at 750, and then what I would do was I got the hang of it like within a month. So I would call the shippers and say, hey, listen, my name is Brandon. I'm working for Schneider. I'm on my way. I have a 3 o'clock delivery. Is it possible? Is it a 5 o'clock? So okay, let me slow down. What Brad would do, he would intentionally book me late. So what happened is, we do a late drop. You do a late drop. You can't do another pickup. So if I keep booking you to drop off at 5 p.m., when you drop off, you stuck without a load. Then the next day you gotta go find a load. That's a waste of time. So what he really doing is he trying to limit the paycheck every week to 750 max. Okay, he did that for a little while, and I got caught on to him. Then I started making those phone calls to the shippers, and then when I was still dropping off, then I would call and say, "Hey, I've dropped off." He'd be like, "You dropped off already?" I'm like, "Yeah, I dropped off." Then he started realizing this guy's intelligent. He's calling the shippers and then ensuring that he drops off the same day. He's not gonna like go around and wait or not drop off. So my check was coming in at 9 and change. So imagine the checks coming in at 9 and change a week, plus the BAH at, let's say, about 850 in Atlanta's market. You know what this company did to me? They paid me BAH as though I lived in Green Bay, Wisconsin at their corporate office. That's $300 a month. So they duped me with the Air Force. They duped me with the Air Force just to force me to get into the apprenticeship program, so the military's involved. And that's why I be trying to tell you, anytime you say you're gonna use a military benefit or something like that, they make it sound like it's an entitlement, but then they control you. It's like food stamps or welfare. And that's why I don't go nowhere and tell people, hey, I was in the military, yeah, because it's not a benefit. Once you use that, they feel they can control you. When I went to get the CDL at Georgia Driving Academy, they was like, hey man, you could use your military benefit, get a discount. I was like, nah, I'm gonna pay for it cash. And I said, you know what, I'll say $1,500. Fuck it. I did the military discount. Now the military gave me the CDL so they can control the career. This is what they do. They micromanage you and say you're going to use an entitlement benefit. Same thing with the real estate license. The real estate broker's test is the same as the agent test. The only difference is that the broker's test has a case study. I did everything I was supposed to do study. I was like, fuck the case study. I know what I'm doing. Get to the case study. I didn't answer the questions wrong, but I didn't answer the questions that they gave in the packet because I never read the case study in the packet. So I actually passed the test as always, but then I was actually down by like 3 to 6 points max because of the case study answers. Question could be, you receive earnest money from a client. When you receive earnest money from the client, what's the fastest time frame that you deliver the money to the broker? Well, that question doesn't make sense. You're forming the question as though I'm the agent when this is the broker's exam. I am the broker. So if I'm taking the broker's test to be the broker and I am the fucking broker, I deliver that shit within 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at it from a broker's perspective, within 12 to 24 hours. Or as soon as possible, right? So let's say I put as soon as possible and the booklet said 12 to 24 hours. I got it wrong, but it's the same shit. I might be leaving a closing, going to a showing, picking up an earnest money check at 8 p.m. And then when I need to bring it to the brokerage or deposit it in the earnest money account, I can't because the bank's closed. So ASAP is the next business day, right? Or within 12 to 24 hours. It might take me up to 24 hours depending on where I am, what I'm doing. I also have a personal life. What if I have children As long as I don't steal the earnest money check and I deposit it in the earnest money account, that's all that fucking matters. If you got the earnest money in your possession over 24 damn hours and you didn't deposit it, something wrong with you. I don't care if you're the broker or the agent. So it was simple stupidity on the exam like that. So when I got to the lady, I was like, yeah. She said, oh, you didn't pass by 3 points. But you're a veteran, right? I said, yeah. She said, oh, well, instead of coming back because you're a veteran, just show me your DD 214 and then we'll just give you the 3 points. Because I did that, they feel they own my real estate license. I go get my master's degree, my MBA, my master's in business administration with a concentration in finance and banking and finance. Because finance is bullcrap. Finance is just accounting. Banking is banking, securitization, and capital markets, international funding, and entrepreneurial finance. That's banking, right? So, because I used the VA loan, the school loan to get the degree, they feel they can mess with my career. So this is what's wrong with these people. These people are control freaks. So one day, Schneider, because they cut my paycheck to $300 a week now, right? They found a way to run me. So what happens when you're in the truck, when they got these new trucks like this one, they run you over the weekend to cover the truck payment for the company. Then they'll give you like 2 small routes just to keep you busy. If you got a racist dispatcher like Brad could give you a long run. Brad could say, Brandon, you worked the weekend, you paid our truck payment off, thanks. I'll give you a long run from here to here. The problem with this business is when you get a long run, you actually get paid less money. So if I drive 100 miles, I get more money for driving 100 miles than picking up and driving 100 miles and picking up and driving 100 miles than me actually driving 2,000 miles to Cali. So what he'll do is he'll probably give you a long run, 500 miles. That's what he'll do. He'll do some dumb shit like, I'll drop off in Michigan, let's just say, and then he'll tell me to drive from Michigan all the way to Texas, right? By the time I get to Texas, that's about a good 450 to 550 miles. Once I do the 550, my check is still light because I'm getting only paid 35 cents. Now with these companies, what they do is they do something called hub miles. They do something called hub miles, statute miles, and some other miles. Statute miles mean they pay from zip code to zip code. So if they're only giving you 35 cents from zip code to zip code, and you're going 500 miles, you're not getting the 500 miles at 35 cents. You're getting 500 miles from zip code to zip code. So now you're not even just making $500. You're making way less than that, even if it's $1 a mile. So at 35 cents a mile, you're looking at less money, right? This nigga right here was following me around. He's been walking up and down the block. Did he see him coming out of his house? He's been following me around and shit, walking up and down the street. So he comes over here. He's been parking here with the same gray color truck that I had when I left the company, right? So, yeah, motherfucker, you see me, pussy. I'm gonna fuck you up. So, boom. He turns around, they turn around now. I leave from Labor Day. Let me go about my business now. I leave from Labor Day. I come down to New York, down to Georgia. They give me a piss test. Random P test. Why you singling me out for a P test? Because I went to New York? I already see where this is going now. I see where this is going with this company. Then, after that, they would do shit like run me northbound and southbound off of 81. Now, Highway 81 is the western highway in Virginia. And that western highway in Virginia is very hilly, and you got to go up the mountains through North Carolina and all that type of shit. So what they would do, they would have me keep delivering on 81. Then Brad would make me sit down on 81. So let's say he gave me something over the weekend that covers the truck payment for the company. Then he'll give me something on Monday, right? That'll last me, let's say, till Wednesday or till Tuesday, a short. They call it in the business a short. Then I'll do the short, and then after I do the short, he sat me down on purpose. Now, he'll send me there from Tuesday to Thursday morning. And while I be sitting at like the little truck stop in Virginia or whatever, or the one in white Virginia, you know, they would send other truck drivers over with Doberman, with not Dobermans, the police dog, German Shepherds. One of the truck stops had a McDonald's in it. So I was there for a day already. I got there on a Tuesday, and Brad saying that there's no loads. So I went inside the next day. It was probably about maybe at 12 p.m. I go inside the McDonald's, and I see a truck pull up with a woman in it, and she parked to the left of my vehicle. She jumps out the truck with a German Shepherd and walks around the truck with the German Shepherd. I said, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe that they would send... I'll twist it around. I can't believe that they would send somebody while they're sitting me down with a German Shepherd to walk around the truck. So I said, okay, these people are really being stupid. I don't know why. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start thinking about what I can do now to leave, because when he's sitting me down between Tuesday and Thursday, he's giving me a short on Monday, then he's giving me a short on Thursday, and then he's giving me a long over the weekend. So even if you count the long is paying their bills. The long is not paying me, because as I mentioned, shorts make money. So on the 2 shorts, let's say I make $400 max, right? And then I'm only getting $300 a month now for the BAH, because they're calculating the BAH at Green Bay, Wisconsin cost of living and not Atlanta. They basically cut my pay by $300 a week, and they're driving me around to pay off their truck, but they're sitting me down all over the country, wasting time idle. So what am I supposed to do? Get frustrated and do something wrong to make up the money? What am I supposed to do? Be out there smoking weed and then they just catch you? So I said, okay, they're playing games. I said one day, I said to myself, Brandon, you got a CDL, man. You ain't got to work for these people. You can work for whoever you want. So I saw an ad in the paper, and it said, we're paying $1,800 a week for flatbed drivers. We'll teach you to do flatbed, but you got to come up to Chicago. So I figured, you know what? I might take the job, but let me think about it. So I worked another week, and I decided I don't want to fucking work for this company, Schneider National, no more. I got a CDL. I want to see what else is in the market. So I called the people up in Gary, Indiana, which is really where they were. And it was some Ukrainians. And I said, I'll come up there. So that was my first time really like venturing out. So I got on the Greyhound, went up to Gary. I had 2 agents on the bus following me up there. Why are these people following me when I'm going to get a job with my own CDL? It's my CDL. If I want to go get a job anywhere, if I want to get a job in Ontario, Canada, with a company in Canada that will keep me in America using my CDL, I have that right. Why are they fucking following me on the damn Greyhound? Why are they doing? They've been doing this forever. So long story short, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to show that, number one, they're harassing me. As soon as I posted those videos on YouTube, right, all of a sudden, this dude from Schneider National is there. He's following me around. I'll be at the QT at another place, he's there. He starts pacing back and forth up and down the street, staring at me and staring at the driveway and staring at the garage. Why is he stalking me? Why is he doing that? What's the odds that somebody will post 5 videos on YouTube showing that Schneider National has been running around bad-mouthing the person to all these trucking companies, and then they decide to come local and bad-mouth you so you can't do real estate? Then they decide to come local to bad-mouth you so you can't do mortgages, and then every minute that you have a problem where you can't get in with a mortgage company because you have a mortgage license, or a real estate company because you have a real estate license, they'll hack the Uber app or the Lyft app and then run you to a trucking terminal, like come back to trucking. Like, why are they doing that? So as soon as I posted those videos on YouTube about Schneider, because remember, the Platinum Trucking Company video was plain as day that they've been harassing me. They tried to sabotage the truck thinking that it was mine. And then they used the guy telling him they want to route me, then kidnapped me through the routing process, the load booking routing process, and then sent me to Green Bay and then sat me there for up to 72 hours in the freezing cold with no heat and nothing. So it's like they wanted me to go up to Green Bay and then be freezing and say I quit, abandon the load, mess up my DAC report, and then they can follow me from Green Bay all the way to Atlanta. Why is Schneider doing that? And then they turn around now and they go buy a property down the street or rent a property down the street, and then they park a truck that's the same color of the truck that they gave me when I left the company. So the day that I was leaving the company, the office manager comes outside, right? And I said I quit. So when I told him I quit, he walks out to the yard, and I was lucky enough to park close to the office. And he stands right there and watches me unload all my shit, like he's staring at all my stuff to look for a problem. And you know what I did? I took all my stuff out the truck, right in his damn face, and put it down. So I don't have nothing to hide. I didn't do nothing unscrupulous, but yet they're mad because I left in 3 months. In 6 months, I learned the whole business in 3 months. I stayed over the road consistent for 3 months straight without even going home. So this is the harassment that these people have been doing, and it's not fair because I don't know why they've been doing it. They can say, well, you said this in your lyrics. Well, when I wrote the lyrics, I talked about an airplane and I just changed it and said truck. But it's illegal for you to take someone's creative works and sabotage their job from their creative works. I already looked up the law on that. I have a right to free speech. So if I have a right to free speech, why are you penalizing me at work for my free speech? Who gave you that right? You're violating my federal rights, my First Amendment right to free speech. And then you're going to use the trucking business to try and keep me poor, but driving around in hopes and praying that I do something wrong. And then I go from one company to another, and then they call them and then they sabotage my image or they sabotage my name and tell them, hey, listen, we'll book him out. Don't worry. So I could work for whoever I want to work for. But Schneider, once they see my name in the system on the insurance policy of the company, they turn around and then they start booking me anyway. And that's what they did with the Platinum Trucking Company in Chicago, in Justice, Illinois. So I'm doing this video because I wanted to really give a small breakdown of my interaction with the Schneider Company and the fact that when I was with Platinum, after I got my MBA, I was no longer in school. They gave me $5,000 kickback. I'm stupid. I should have took the $5,000 and put it in a real estate company. I should have. What I did was I took the $5,000 and I bought a Nissan Quest to do Uber. And I figured if I do Uber with the money, at least I got an income coming in local that would support the real estate business. Because I mean, with the real estate business, all I need is pen, paper, and the MLS. So if I've been making, let's say $600 to $700 a week part-time, imagine what I could make. The downside was the Quest was a heavy vehicle like this Sienna. And I bought it for $5,000, but these dealers down here are unscrupulous, so it needed so much work. I kept going to the dealer, then it needs struts, then it need control arm, and all these were the expensive parts of the vehicle. So I went ahead and sold it for $3,000, lost $2,000, got the $3,000 back, and sat on the $3,000, and then I went back into the truck. And when I went back in the truck, I started getting harassed. First from the Marine guy, then after the Marine guy, then he sent me to Florida and sat me down there for no reason. I don't know what was on his mind, and he sent me there in a storm. Then after him, then I believe I went to the guy Bertram, the Jamaican guy. Then he kept running me to Sandersville, Georgia, where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was born, and then running me up to Albany, New York, which is upstate New York, by some prison for drug addicts, and then back down to Alabama, where the Air Force is, right outside of Birmingham, where CRST is and Schneider is. So these people are playing this game with your career. I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know what the goal is. I don't care. What I care about is that every time I'm trying to progress, someone's trying to push me backward for whatever reason. And they feel justified in doing so, to the point where when I quit the business completely, they'll come down and rent a home or buy a home down the street and go ahead and park a vehicle of the same color of the vehicle I had when I quit in the driveway and sit there. One day I drove past there, I said, fuck Schneider National. You know what he did? He came out the house, that same dude on the video that you just saw, and he went to the AC unit and kicked the AC unit and fucked it up so that there was no AC in the house. The first guy that came said, yeah, your unit's bad, but I don't see no leaks on the inside. So somebody was kicking the outside unit, the frame of the unit, and then the leak was on the outside, but they couldn't check that. And then the tenant's gonna come talk, the other nigga, Evan, the tenant gonna come talk about, well, I'm hot. Auburn needs to go and spend $6,000 on the unit now. What? Auburn doesn't have to do that. So y'all set this up, and then at the same time, while he's telling me Auburn needs to go get a $6,000 AC unit now because he's a tenant and the house is inhabitable, he's like, oh yeah, and because the house is inhabitable, you know what I'm saying, we all can't stay here if Auburn doesn't fix the AC. Whoa, what does Auburn do for a living anyway? So you mean to tell me that y'all came over here to fuck up the AC unit, you and this Schneider National dude, so that you can say the house is inhabitable to force me to move out? And I ain't going nowhere. Auburn don't want me to go nowhere, and I won't even be at the house. I'm always working, doing Uber or Lyft, working to pay the bills with my own business. So why does this dude think that he's just gonna move in? Since he's been there, like I did a video yesterday, I had to change my passwords on all my accounts 3 times. Every time I use an app to make money, it's like I'm getting the cheapest routes, or I'm getting the cheapest deals, or I'm getting the cheapest deliveries. He just keeps hacking my shit and fucking up my money. And then when August came, right before Labor Day, I get fired from Lyft for no reason, talking about safety violation. So there's a lot of games going on, right? And then the Schneider National dude, he's parked down the street. Now, every time he pulls up in town, let's say he pulls up in town today, all of a sudden a whole bunch of bad stuff happens to me for up to 3 days. And then he'll take off, and then everything's calm again, right? He'll come in town, then the AC is bad. Then once he confirms the AC is bad, he's gone. He'll come in town, he'll park his truck down the street. When he parks his truck down the street, I'm driving up and down all day. Normally I'm making $200 to $250 a day doing Uber. With Lyft, I was making up to $1.75, $1.80. All of a sudden with Lyft, I'm only making $120 when he comes in town. I'm at the mortgage company. A white man gets in my car because I'm at the mortgage company. He says to me, hey man, you deserve to make $300 a day. And I would be at the mortgage company from Monday through Friday working, right? And then I would work Friday, make $300. Saturday, make $300. Sunday, make $300. And then come back to the mortgage company on Monday morning. So you mean to tell me a white man can get in my car and tell me I deserve to make $300 a day, and automatically, boom, I start making $300 a day on the weekend. And I'm making $900 in 3 days. That's the capability with Lyft. You just showed it to me. So how come when I leave the company, because the banking and finance department don't want to process my license to work there, and they're playing all these games, all of a sudden I'm only making $120 a day? I don't know what's going on in this country. I really don't care. I'm here to take care of my family. I'm here to build one. Everyone has a family. Everyone wants one. I'm here to work and make money. These people keep messing with my income, and they keep messing with my income, and they keep souring my name in the world. Every move I make, they're trying to destroy my name and my credibility. And then when I get upset, it's like, well, you're driving around the city, you don't want to do mortgages, so why don't you just go back to the truck? It's not that I don't want to do mortgages. The first mortgage company I went to, you told the guy some lie about me. He didn't want to open the door. Second mortgage company I went to, you told them not to process the license till after 2.5 months of me showing up. Why are you doing that? That's not the protocol. When you go to sign up with a company that's license based, you process your license immediately because you know it's a time sensitive procedure. If you're going to come to my real estate company, and I know maybe the real estate commission is backlogged, I need you to process this paper as soon as possible. Listen, if you want to sign up with the company that's license-based, fill out the actual form that you want to be an agent, sign it, and then as the broker, I'm going to take that document, sign it, and submit it to the commission today or tomorrow so that you can start working. Same thing with the mortgages. I go to your mortgage company, you tell me you're going to come, I'm going to come there, you make a verbal agreement with me that you're going to pay me a $1,500 a month stipend from the corporate office in Las Vegas. You represent an entity. This is not your mortgage company. So any promises that you're making, you're actually talking to me as though you're talking on behalf of the company because you don't own this company. And then you lie and tell me that you'll give me a $1,500 a month stipend and then you don't do it. You don't even put me into the system with the company until 2.5 months later when you decide to push the application for me to be at the mortgage company. The whole time there, instead of you honoring your verbal agreement, let's get to business, you're going to start teaching me and coaching me, put me into the system with the corporation, acknowledge that the corporation is acknowledging me, and then have them start cutting the $1,500 stipend to show that we're really doing business here. And I can now sit and say, you know what, I'm comfortable. I'm with a company, I'm on W-2. Now I can say I have a job and a business, 2 things. And on top of that, I can relax myself now, not worry about my income, and I can focus on mortgages. This is what they're taking from me. Sound peace of mind. This is what they're robbing me of. And then when you get frustrated because you're still juggling, trying to make it, and then do this, and then you just leave. Oh, look at them. And then they run around chasing you around again. Well, you don't want to do mortgages. You want to just drive, so go back to driving trucks. No, somebody told this black man to delay the process by 2.5 months. He lied to me. And then he kept trying to throw me money like I was a drug addict. Hey, man, I'll give you a few dollars if you want. I don't want a few dollars. I want a job with a company. That's what you promised me. I want you to honor your verbal agreement that I'm signing up with Legacy Home Loans. I don't want to hear that you're trying to throw me $50 so you can see what I do with it. Did I beg you for money like a homeless man? Or is this a job? So he started treating me like garbage. And I don't know who told him he had the right to do that. And then in the end, he starts talking. Well, as soon as he's processing the license, he starts looking at me kind of different. This guy's young. He's trying to come on to his processor. The processor don't want him. She's looking at me. She's a cougar. She want the young guy. Now he mad at me for that. He start looking at me. He's bumbling around, stumbling around the office. I'm realizing this guy's kind of getting older. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of slow. He's slowing down. He's realizing, damn it, I am slowing down. And I'm gonna be the new guy. If I come in and I do well, he's going on 60 something. He's going to retire. Now it's a competition. He don't want me working there because I might take over the office. You see, it's all this competitive jealousy that underlies even the bullshit. And in the end, when you walk away to be self-sufficient so you don't have to deal with this toxicity, these white people recreate the story and say, oh, he don't want to work. He want to drive around town. Something wrong with him. No, because I didn't play your game, because I didn't allow you to push me around, because y'all didn't honor what y'all wanted to, and I see you as a liar and I step off. I'm the bad guy. And you know what the worst part about it is, like I said earlier, then comes Schneider National again. So something always happens, and the Schneider National is somewhere caught up in it. That's interesting. It's quite interesting. I'll leave the video at that. You saw the guy parked on the street in his dirty gray truck. You saw how they parked the truck at the house to taunt me every day when I leave. That's why he's there. He should be parking that truck someplace else. He could park at the Walmart. He could park at a Kroger. He could park anywhere else. But he intentionally was told by the company, because I published those videos on YouTube, to come over here and park the truck on the street to taunt me every day I leave the house with the same color truck that I had when I left. And this is how petty these people are. This is how childish they are. This is how evil they are. And they're getting away with it.